I don't remember the last time we talked. And that's the weird part, because if you asked me back then, I would have said we were fine. Like nothing was wrong, nothing happened, nothing broke. We just stopped. And I didn't even notice when it happened. You ever have someone in your life where it just felt permanent? Like this person was just part of your life, no questions asked. Before everything got complicated, before people started changing, before life got busy in ways you didn't really understand yet, it was just you and them. You don't think about it ending because there's no reason to. It's not even something that crosses your mind. It just feels understood, like, of course they're gonna be there. Of course you'll both be there for everything. Birthdays, random late night conversations, stupid jokes that don't even make sense anymore. It wasn't something that you questioned, it just existed. And the thing is, there wasn't a fight. That's what makes it harder to explain. There was no big moment where everything fell apart, no argument, no clear shift where you could say, this is where our friendship or relationship changed. It was quieter than that, smaller. We started saying things like, we should hang out soon, and we meant it, or at least I think we did. But then something would come up, or maybe nothing came up and we just didn't follow through. A message would sit there a little longer than usual before getting a reply, then a little longer again. And you tell yourself it's not a big deal because it really isn't, it's just one conversation. But then it happens again and again, and suddenly it's not just one moment anymore, it's a pattern. And somewhere in that pattern, things start to shift. You go from talking all the time to occasionally checking in, and then from checking in to just not really talking at all. And honestly, the strange part for me is it doesn't feel like anything is happening while it's ending. It just feels like life, like things are a little busier, a little different, a little harder to keep up with. You don't sit there thinking, this is it, this is where we lose each other. Because if you did, you'd probably do something about it. I know I would. I would want to reach out, fix it, and say something real instead of just a simple, we should catch up soon. But you don't, and I didn't, because it doesn't feel like something that needs fixing at the time. Sometimes I try to think back and figure out exactly when it changed. Like when was the last normal conversation we had? Not the quick check-ins or the half-hearted we should hang outs, but a real conversation where we were both there, present, talking about nothing and everything at the same time. I can't remember. And that's the part that sticks with me more than anything, because how do you not notice something like that? How do you not notice when someone who used to mean a lot to you and be part of your everyday life and just isn't anymore? I think what makes it sit with me so hard is that not even the fact that it ended, but it ended without either of us saying anything. There was no closure, no goodbye, no moment where we acknowledged that something was changing. Just crickets. And somehow, we both accepted it without ever talking about it. It's like we slowly became strangers again, but in a way that almost felt mutual, like neither of us stopped it, even if neither of us really wanted it to end. And I keep thinking there had to be one moment, just at least one. There had to be a last time we laughed like that, a last time we had a real conversation, a last time we said, talk to you later, and actually meant it. But I didn't know it was the last time, so I treated it just like another day. And that's the part that felt off, because if you knew something was the last time, you'd hold on to it differently, you'd view it differently, and you'd cherish it. You'd definitely pay more attention. You wouldn't let it slip by your fingers so easily. I always thought losing someone would be obvious. I thought it would be loud or painful right away, or at least clear, like a moment of clarity where you could just point to it and say, that's when everything changed. But sometimes it just doesn't work like that. Sometimes you don't lose people all at once. Sometimes you lose them slowly, in the places between conversations, in the things you don't say, in the plans that never actually happen. And by the time you realize what's going on, it's already done. And I feel like you've probably had someone like that too. Someone who used to just be there in a way that didn't need explaining. Someone who just felt like a part of your routine, part of your life in a way that felt stable. And now they're just not. There just is no big story attached to it, no dramatic ending or closure that you can explain to someone else. Just silence, distance, and time. The quiet realization that things just aren't the same anymore. Maybe you told yourself it's normal, that people grow apart and life moves on. And yeah, that's true. It happens all the time. But that doesn't make it feel any less strange when you actually sit with it. Because it's not about losing them. It's about losing that version of us. The version of you that existed when they were around. The nostalgic way things felt back then. The way that everything seemed a little more happy and certain in a way you didn't fully appreciate at the time. And that's what I miss the most, because that version doesn't really exist anymore, and I didn't realize it until I have already passed it. I think that's what no one really talks about, how some endings don't feel like endings until they're already over. You don't get a clear moment. You don't get closure. You don't get something you can point to. You just wake up one day and realize you don't remember the last time you talked. And by then, there's nothing you can really do about it. You can't go back and find a moment where it changed. You can't recreate what it used to be. You just have this quiet understanding that something that just you felt was permanent wasn't. And maybe that's the hardest part. Not the silence itself, but the fact that while it was happening, while things were slowly changing, drifting, and fading, we didn't even notice. We thought we had more time. We always do. I don't even know if the answer is to reach back out or just let it be what it became. A part of me wants to believe that some things can pick up where they left off, that you can just close the distance if you really try. But another part of me knows that even if you did, it wouldn't be the same version of us. Too much time has passed. Too many small, unspoken changes have happened in between. And maybe that's not a bad thing, it's just different. It's just something you have to accept without fully understanding it. I think what stays with me isn't even the loss of the friendship or relationship itself. It's the realization of how quickly life can change around you while you're busy living it. How many people can mean everything to you in one chapter and then slowly become a fading memory in the next without a clear dividing line? It makes you look at the people still in your life a little differently, not in a way where you're forced to appreciate everything, but just with a bit more awareness. Like maybe the moments you think are ordinary or normal aren't going to always last. And maybe that's all you really take from something like this. Just a quiet understanding that some connections don't end with goodbye, with closure. They just fade into who you used to be. And you carry that version of you forward, even if the person isn't there anymore. It's strange, but it's also kind of human. Things just don't always break. Sometimes they just become something else, and you learn to live with that. And that's something that I'm personally learning to live with too. Thanks for watching, Rardo, and I'll see you in the next video.